welcome back to our indie game retrospective series. So this is episode 5, kind of a bonus episode here. We're going to talk about the Shovel Knight speedrunning community, and we have Smaugy here with us, who pretty much on top of the leaderboards for the majority of the Shovel Knight categories. As we've talked about game design in Shovel Knight, I think it's going to be interesting to look at how speedrunners take those mechanics to the extreme. And I think Smaugy is the best to have that conversation with us. So thanks for joining us, Smaugy. So let's start with your history with speedrunning Shovel Knight, because Twitch Tracker has you at like 900 total hours in game. And I imagine that's just what you've streamed. So I imagine you've played Shovel Knight quite a bit more than that.
Didn't actually know that it was 900 hours streamed. I thought it was going to be more because my in-game time is around 2,000 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's not a lot of practice as well. I like to play a lot and build things up instead of practicing a lot and then do runs.
Can you break that down more? What does that mean to build things up versus practicing?
My first runs, I didn't think about the normal route whatsoever. I bought one relic, and that is the face locket, the one where you get invisibility, so you can walk over spikes. You can phase through enemies by just walking through them. And that's the only item I bought ever for like 2-3 weeks. And I just memorized where I should be going, which levels I should do in order, and then just beat the game.
So it sounds like a lot of this process was kind of you routing from scratch, where you're trying to figure out the best way to do things versus kind of following a pre-built route that a previous PB or a previous world record had done?
There was already a pre-built route, but I learned from other runners at the same time as I did strats. Well, in some places I found something, oh, maybe you can do this. And then I looked at another runner and I saw that, yeah, you could do that, but they did it slightly differently. I didn't try it myself. Oh, okay, so that is possible. So then I copied those strats, and within 3 months, I actually beat the world record in any percent.
Well, that's pretty wild to hit world record after 3 months. That's usually not the timeline that you see. Usually it's a lot longer. Can you give us a quick list of the rule differences between any percent, 100%, low percent, or any other major category that might be popular in Shovel Knight?
Yeah, most games and Shovel Knight have a low percent category, any percent category, and 100% category. Any percent basically means do whatever you want. Just finish the game. There's no limit to the glitches. There's no special conditions or rules. Because basically for 100% you're trying to get as much gold as possible while you're getting through everything. And at the end you buy every single upgrade, a magic upgrade, health upgrade, everything. And then you finish.
Interesting. Let's dive a little bit deeper into the various strats that you're using. So the gold management, that's something that we see a lot in any speedrun that has currency, it feels like. it's getting just the right amount, not spending too much time getting it, not spending too little time getting it. What are the basic strats that you see used throughout, like basic movement ideas? I see a lot of you jumping and then right away using a shovel attack, for example. What are the most common things that you're using in a speedrun in Shovel Knight?
In every single category, in every single speedrunning category, we use something called shovel canceling. So it's like coming down, shovel, hit the ground, and as soon as you hit the ground, the animation of the first shovel attack gets interrupted or canceled, the animation. So when you jump again, you can continue a new animation, a new attack. We use this technique for a lot of stun locks and a lot of spam, like spammy kills. There are a couple of mini bosses, for example, in Iron Whale with the T-Fall on, and we have the Dinghy Dropper in Flying Machine and the Alchemist in Exploratorium. The Alchemist in Exploratorium, all you do there is just spam. You just jump and shovel attack. And the stun locks for shovel cancelling is used for Black Knight. For example, there are 3 fights of Black Knight. The first one is in the first level. You start that fight with jumping up, getting first hits, and then you jump and continue jumping and doing that little stun lock. That mechanic is everywhere. You can also do the same thing with a pogo combo attacks. But in certain categories, it's not used at all. As soon as we get some items, we like to use the items instead of the shovel.
But what are the major item strats that come up the most frequently that you're using to cut your time down?
I can go through the most important relics. Dust Knuckles is a frame saver, a tool to skip through or over or through enemies. So if there are a bunch of dust blocks, every time you dust knuckle something, a block or an enemy or a checkpoint, I believe you save 2 seconds or 0.3 seconds. So if you add that up, even if you don't do anything, like for example, there was a new route in Iron Whale. I found out that you can still use your magic. You can manage the magic management in Iron Whale. You can still have the magic towards the end. And I found out you can do 7 or 8 knuckles extra. So it's like 1.5 second right there. And because of that, we could beat a global cycle at the end. Then we have the coin. The coin is my favorite relic.
Which is weird, because how you use it's pretty wild.
Yeah, we use it as a weapon, but we also use it to throw it, dust knuckle it, hit it, and then pogo it.
Where in your run does that combo happen? What's an example of that?
A good example would be the Lost Fight, actually. Enchantress 2. That is the biggest coin trick combo time save there is. For any percent at least. It's around 10 to 12 seconds. For any percent, it's among the hardest trick in the run. And it's at the very end of the run. The last 15 seconds of the run, you have to pull that off. But at the beginning of the fight, you actually use a gear. You throw a gear onto one of the platforms. You jump on top of it to get the gear moving, so it runs across the platform, and when it reaches the ledge, the end of the platform, the mobile gear jumps away, so it comes up a little bit. So when you activate it, you run back, jump high, switch to coin, throw it in the same direction where the gear is moving, you turn back, and as soon as you hit the gear when it's going up, before you actually hit it, you shovel attack the coin to gain more height on the coin, and and then you pogo it immediately after.
Now, for that strat, is there like a person in the community that came up with that? Because that's a lot of different mechanics happening at once.
I think it was more like a idea for a previous strat. Because when I started speedrunning 100%, and me and Speedfrog, which is another Shovel Knight runner, that was before any percent had the coin route. So when the coin routes happened in any percent, that was because of 100%. I found the first coin tricks together with Speedfrog, and there were a couple of more coin tricks that wasn't found by me. And then people saw that coin route might be faster for any percent.
On the item front, not to lose that thread too much, I also noticed a lot of using the amulet to phase. It was almost like you were pausing jumps to like extend a jump. Like there was a music sheet that was up high in a level, and you use phase a couple times to make sure that you can reach it. Can you talk a little bit more about that mechanic, and I guess talk about how you abuse it?
Right now in the current 100% route, I use the phase 4 times. The first time is directly after I get it. In the beginning of Lost City, there's the Beetle 1 skip. You usually free a bird hidden within blocks in a small cage, sort of. And then you make him bounce all the way over the lava, and you can pogo it and get over the platform, the big gap. But for 100%, you have face lockets, and you buy a magic upgrade. Instead of using the bird, you can use face lockets to get over the gaps. Because when you use it, you kind of get stuck in the air, and then when you start moving forward again, you don't start moving down immediately as you're supposed to in a normal jump. So you go forward a little bit each time you use it, so that you can like barely make the gaps.
And as far as kind of zooming back out again, from my perspective, not as someone that's actively speedrun the game or speedran the game, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of glitch abuse happening in Shovel Knight speedruns. It feels like mostly it's mastery of the mechanics and comboing the mechanics in interesting ways. Is that accurate?
Yeah, exactly. That's also one of the things that drew me into Shovel Knight more. I like glitchless categories. For me, speedrunning is a very cool thing. Glitches is incredible, even for Shovel Knights. Sometimes I get into a situation where I don't know what to do, but I've gotten into that situation so much that I instinctively know immediately what I need to do.
Interesting. So as we're kind of winding down here, are there any parts of the 100% speedrun or the 80% speedrun categories that are super interesting to you that we haven't talked about? Or do you have a favorite section that we haven't talked about?
100% is the best category for Shovel Knight. One of the more special things about the categories in Shovel Knight that you asked is the amount of tricks that is like available to you at different levels for 100%.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, to wrap up, for anybody that's watching this is maybe not familiar with your work and your speedruns, where can they go to learn more about you and more about your streams?
Well, my Twitch channel is always the best way. I'm not super active right now because I'm in the progress of learning another game. But the best way is to just ask me on Discord. You can either join my Discord or the Shovel Knight speedrunning community Discord. YouTube and Twitter is also a good way. I keep good track on all of those. So those are, Discord, Twitter, YouTube, or on my stream.
Awesome. And we'll drop all those links in the show notes as well to make that easy for people. But thanks for taking the time to talk through. It's been a blast to kind of go through and look at Shovel Knight from a game design perspective. And then after that, look at how you used all those mechanics in very extreme ways to do some even more interesting things with the game. So thanks for walking us through that. And if you're watching, you should definitely tune in to Smaugy. Very, very entertaining streamer and great way to hang out and experience Shovel Knight in a new way. So thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you next season for The Messenger.